life of a servant and the life of a son was imprinted yesterday in Sunday service. 15 years ago, on the way home from a sermon on the subject of the prodigal son, my husband said, "I will not name it the prodigal son, but the faith of second son. This is outrageous. How can the prodigal son be the son of faith? Only a true son can ask his father for his fortune. And when he spent it all and became penniless, he naturally thought of his father, and coming back to beg for his father's forgiveness is the only thing a son can do." It was a difference in perspective of what you could do if you had unwavering faith in your father. It was an understanding that came from the real relationship between father and son. We've been taught that we are ungrateful children who ask our living fathers for their inheritance first. But if our children need it for what they want to do, don't you think that rich father would be more than willing to give it to his son? There are many father-son relationships in this world. But after so many years of delivering sermons, with a long tradition of seeing only one side, it's hard for me to accept the word second son's faith. This unique perspective has shone brightly upon me. It was fascinating how this interpretation could vary depending on how you look at the content. I had never thought of challenging the concept of the prodigal son. So I dug deeper into the story of the first son, starting with the relationship between the father and the second son. And now, 15 years later, I am challenged by the faith to be a son. It's so hard to break history and tradition. Furthermore, I wanted to be a good man of faith, who doesn't need any challenges, who accepts it wholeheartedly and tries to do as he was taught. So I found that submissive life to be the easiest and best way to live. It's not easy to live a good and comfortable life of obedience, with the ingredients and time involved. After all those investments, I thought I was finally living like a true believer. The challenge to break me, created by history and tradition, has begun. Our faith grows in a parabola that goes up like a spring, down like a spring, and up at a moment's notice, going up and down endlessly, until the day you die is the growing process of faith. So a period is marked on the day you end your life. On the day you mark a period, if you don't want any regrets, good job on yourself. Or that you did a good job, you have to live your life to the fullest today. That's how you can have a great past and a great future. Until I was in my 20s, I lived my life lamenting about my past life. But my friend, how long are you going to lament about your past? If you believe in Jesus, I'm tired of hearing about it. He declared his friendship and left. I was shocked. I thought I could accept and share, because she was my friend. But I guess I was too much of a friend. I came to my senses. The shock and the surprise and the humiliation made me want to disappear. And that was the trigger for me to decide not to complain about my past, and not to express myself in front of people. I didn't solve the problem. I just hid it and suppressed it. Countless years have passed, and I have more gratitude in my life. Phew. Thank goodness for that. What if I was still lost in that tunnel? It's filled with the many stories I've spent wrestling with God. Sometimes, it becomes the answer sheet. And sometimes, it becomes the textbook that keeps me going. And now, I feel like I'm on the slope of a spring. He has been challenged to be transferred from servant to son. The time has come to have his identity changed. His voice has begun to tell me to return to his son's place. So I'm going to move my faith perspective to a new angle. And I'm going to proceed with what I've just learned. The life of a servant, a subject, a son, and a master. There are hierarchies, sequence, real, and fake. I wish to enter the life of my real son, with the enlightenment that encompasses them all. I don't know how much I'll grow after I go through this path. Father God, I've been with you, as the head of a family of boys and girls. So I don't know what a real son is like. I've never experienced it, so I don't know how to think about it. I'm lucky enough to have a son, so I can reflect on our relationship. I really want to be a good father-son relationship. Through your words, I ask that you continue to enlighten me, notice me, and create a relationship between a father and a son.